Welcome back to the No Fun channel. I'm Felix, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my React channel. I always put a link in the description for it, and check out my book. I need to make some ads, but what was I gonna say? Oh, today I went to my son's band concert, and I think I said this once before, but it's still surprising because I was in band in junior high and high school, and there wasn't that many girls that played different instruments other than the clarinet and the flute. But now there's so many girls playing trumpet, trombone, and drums, and a lot more guys playing flute and clarinet, which I thought was very interesting. It's like, wow, a lot's changed. I think part of the problem when I was going to school, they tried to make it seem like the clarinet and the flute were just for girls, but now it's interesting. The lots changed since then. That was just an observation that I noticed, and I thought it was interesting. But one thing I will like to talk about is my workout. I was getting back on track. I went Monday, Tuesday. I purposely took Wednesday off, but then today I forgot I wouldn't be going today. If I remembered, I would have went Wednesday and then skipped today. So Wednesday and Thursday I missed, but I'm going to go tomorrow. I think about going Saturday. If I go Saturday, I may just do cardio and just walk on the treadmill. But yeah, it's hard getting back in there. As for cardio right now, I can only do 6 minutes on the treadmill. What it was, I would do my upper body or lower body, whichever day it was. Then I do the treadmill for 12 minutes. I can only do 6 now, so I need to get my cardio back up. It sucks, but November hit me hard. Just a bunch of stuff going on. So definitely trying to get back in there, do my cardio, and get it back up. My goal is to increase cardio. I think I want to change up my cardio, how I'm doing it. Since I can only do 6 minutes right now, what I'm thinking is putting it on incline 15 and just walk for that 6 minutes. And just stay there, and then when I hit the 6 minute mark, take it down to like 3, incline 3, and for my cool down. But that's going to be my goal. Just put it all the way to the top and just walk for 6 minutes uphill. But hopefully that'll get my cardio build back up. But yeah, I went back. I knew my cardio would suffer. I thought my strength would suffer, but it didn't. I actually increased my leg press on the leg press. I'm now only added 20 pounds, but still, I'm at 340 now. The legs, the abduction and abductors, I did switch those to just 150. I think the one where you push out with your legs, that one, I can never remember which one's which. The abduction, is that the one you push in? Anyway, either way, one of them I was doing the full rack, but I decided to go back down to 150 just to be on the safe side, since I've been gone for so long. But yeah, I'm getting back in there. It's obviously a slow start. Hopefully I can get back in there and do it right. As for diet, it's still jacked up. I tried to be more mindful of what I'm eating, and then it's just like, I'm going to go eat. Then I'll just eat whatever. It's like, come on, stick to it. But I got to figure out a way to burn more calories than I'm taking in, and I think that would fix it. This weekend, I'm just going to try to do cardio. Even if I don't go to the gym, I'm going to try to get up and do a bunch of stuff around the house that I've been putting off. But yeah, it's... I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to give up on working out, but I need to lose the weight, so I'm working on it. Some things I saw in the news, obviously we would start off with the United Healthcare CEO getting killed, and people pretty much cheering on the assassin, which I'm not shocked by. I mean, these healthcare companies will let people die, and it's like, the whole purpose of insurance is to help cover medical costs. And the truth is, medical costs shouldn't cost that much. It's a business, and it shouldn't be. Medicine should not be a business. The cost of medicine should be pushed down, but no politician wants to do it because they're afraid of losing that money from support. They're afraid, they won't get reelected because the big companies, control. Let's be honest. Even I believe the elections are rigged. But yeah, companies, it's like, oh, I won't get those big money that they brought me with if I push down medicine costs. So yeah, politicians, I don't trust any of them. Business people who have all that money, I don't trust any of them. That's like Jay-Z's being accused of some stuff. And the truth is, I think he did it. Mainly because you guys have to remember, Jay-Z, he was a confessed drug dealer. And you don't think he did some stuff? Maybe got rid of some people and all that? Yeah, he probably did that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But yeah, it's just so many people were just like, yeah, he got what he deserved, and is what people were saying. They're like, it's still murder, but you caused the death of someone's going to take vengeance on you. And people are like, well, he's not directly responsible, but he's the one that makes the orders. It filters down from him. Yeah, he's the one trying to cut costs and make as much money as he can. When in reality, he was a billionaire. He didn't need to make any more money. These people become billionaires and they just become so greedy, and they just don't want to share any of the money. They want it all for themselves, and then they don't understand why people hate them. It's like, you took all the money and making it hard for other people to live. And it's going to get much harder, If Trump has his way, it's going to get so much harder. So, yeah. But the missing woman in Hawaii has been found, but like her father died. I didn't read all about it. Apparently she was in Mexico and she didn't want to be found. So I don't know what was going on, but I just thought it was strange. And I guess the father committed suicide. Part of me wonders what was going on in the family. She did not want to be found. But on the other hand, I actually don't care that much to read into it. And was a quick thing, lottery. Someone has a winning lottery ticket and they haven't gone to claim it. But then I saw something where the lottery wouldn't give this guy the money. They gave him half the money because they said there was 2 tickets. And he's like, I got both tickets. And they were like, they wouldn't give it to him. It's like, but sorry, we're only going to give you half. Like, but I have both tickets. We're only going to give you half. So now he's suing him, saying, I got both tickets. So they made it have to pay more. So if he really has both tickets, they should have just gave him the money and been done with it. But then again, why did he have 2 tickets? Was it a clerical error or something? I don't know. But either way, if he has both tickets, give him the money. He won them. And what was another thing I saw? Oh, there was a while back, there was a woman who did a thing about being catcalled. I think it was a whole video documentary. I think it was like a YouTube thing. Well, she since killed her husband. It was like a murder. Can't say. Remember to delete that. So hopefully I remember to blah. But a murder. I can say murder, but I can't say the other word. It's so weird. So it was a murder end of life thing. But yeah, it was just, you can cuss on YouTube, but you can't say that word. Go figure. But yeah, it's just, I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, they were like, she took his life and then took hers. And it's like, wow. But as you can see, I'm just running through some things. One of the things, what was one of the things I was thinking about? I'm looking at my list. I actually made a list. Like, one of these things is, I forget what I was watching, but one of the things popped up where, let me talk about this. Andrew Schultz is getting death threats and is not taking it very well, apparently. People are making jokes, talking about, it's just a joke. Can't you take a joke? And I was like, oh my God. Because that's what he was doing. He was talking about, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. The problem is, his jokes weren't funny. I've laughed at racist jokes that were funny. If it's not funny, it's not funny. And there's nothing you can do about it. Some people find it funny, some people don't. But there's enough people who are like, you're not that funny. The truth is, I personally never thought he was that funny. And a lot of his jokes, to me, fall flat. And but clearly he's not for me. He's for other people. But the way he was doubling down, he should have just apologized and moved on. The truth is, if he had just apologized and moved on, it would have been fine. But he doubled down, he tripled down, and now he's getting death threats. I don't feel sorry for him. It's like, you should have just let it go. But he keeps coming back swinging, and it's getting worse. So he might want to rethink it, because I don't know if he's been paying attention. People aren't afraid to actually go out there and do something now. They don't care about the consequences. And more people are just, they're snapping and they're done. It's just like every little thing, if you piss someone off, they're coming for you. So this is the situation. He should have just backed down and just let it go. He didn't even really have to apologize. All he had to do was just move on. Don't bring it up. Don't talk about it. Just move on. And I guarantee it would have been fine. The number of people who just move on without apologizing is staggering. Some people bring it, oh, they never apologized. Yeah, but death threats stopped. So that's what he should have done. But he's one of those people that tried to double down, triple down, and it backfired. And it's backfiring even more. Because he did that video talking about protected class and all this stuff. It has nothing to do with protected class, first off. It has to do with the joke wasn't funny. A lot of your jokes are not funny. And people are calling him out now. And he's not liking it. And the truth, I'll be honest with you, I always thought he was a racist. Even when he was on Guy Code, I always thought he was weird. And it's just, I don't know, there was always something about him. And he just hides his racism in the form of, it's just a joke. That's like those guys, those practical jokers, those pranksters. It's just a prank. It's a prank. That's what it reminds me of. So that's what's going on here. So he should have just, he didn't even have to apologize. He should have just moved on and let it go. But he couldn't do it. And now he's paying the price for it. So if by some off chance he sees this, let it go and move on. Don't bring it up. Don't even bring up the fact you're letting it go and moving on. Just go on to something else. Don't bring it up. Tell no one to bring it up and just move on. Because watch, it'll die down and people will move on to something else. But we'll see if he's that smart to figure that out. But the other thing I was talking about that I'm going to talk about is, let's say you're at work and you're talking to someone, you see them all the time, and in your head, you guys are just acquaintances, people at work. But for whatever reason, in their head, you guys are friends. And I'll see these Reddit stories where they talk about people and they get excluded from stuff. Like, I thought we were friends. It's like, you were never friends. And in a lot of those situations, I guarantee the signs were there. You chose to ignore them because you wanted friends so bad. And it's sad that happens. And I think it happens to everyone at least once. It happened to me. There were some people, we hung out all the time, but then all of a sudden it's just like, I wasn't good enough to hang out with. And it's just like, that's so weird. And I just missed the signs. But unlike most people, I just moved on when I was like, okay, whatever. I moved on and that was that. But yeah, it happens. But sometimes in those Reddit stories, I read stuff and like the ones where the one friend pays for everything or organizes everything and they get excluded from it. It's like, first off, I wouldn't have been getting excluded from nothing. If I'm organizing it and I'm paying for it, you're not excluding me. You're out your damn mind. Like there was one where they were taking a trip and they just left and didn't tell the friend, and the friend had everything in their name and they canceled it. First off, if everything's in my name, because a lot of these rest, let's be honest, a lot of these rest stories are fake. They're made up, especially now because they're so popular. A lot of them are just rage bait, as they say. But yeah, I hear these scenarios where the one friend paid for everything. How'd they get the airline tickets? Is first thing, and you can't just show up and leave early. So that's another thing. And I think some kind of catch that in those stories where they go, they exchange them for earlier flights or something. It's like, it's not that easy. But yeah, a lot of times it's like, no. And then, now there was one where the friend found out they do a yearly trip, and the other friends went without the friend, saying, "Well, you're always a downer, so we went without you." And then she went and made plans with other people she met, and was like, "Well, you guys want to take a trip?" And they were going on a trip, and then the friends that ditched her were like, "Oh, are we going?" She's like, "No, you guys already went. I'm going with them." It's like, screw you guys, I'm going with them and have some fun. But yeah, it a lot of those are just interesting, to be honest with you. It's just interesting. But I hear those Reddit stories, and especially the husband and wife. The ones that get me is when they gender swap. They always gender swap the stories, and like, why are you? Because one time I listened to one where they gender swapped, but it didn't gender swap everywhere, and there was some mess ups where it was like, it starts off, my husband left me, and then it goes, so my wife thinks I'm something, and it's like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be husband, not wife, or and vice versa. Or the son is doing something, and then it's changed to the daughter. And it's like father, mother, they keep flipping them throughout the story. It's like, there was one story I was listening to, it's like, I lost track of what was going on. It was like, forget it. I just moved on to the next one. And now, some are very well written to where you want to listen to them. And others are just so all over the place. You're like, dude, start over. Like, clearly this one's fake. One thing I do have a problem with is when people immediately go, it's AI. It's like, doesn't mean it's AI. Just because it sounds bad doesn't mean it's AI. It could just be bad writing, period. Don't just assume it's AI because it's bad writing. Bad writing's been around forever. So, yeah, don't just assume it's AI because it's bad writing. Most likely, people were trying to write stories to get people's attentions, and they should just wrote it as a story instead of trying to do it as am I the a-hole, or a true Reddit story or stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, don't do that. Just put the story out there and let it go. I done got way off topic because I was talking about friendships and went over there. But yeah, it was some Reddit stories where it's like they were just friends. Where they thought they were friends and they weren't friends. And not even that, because I was thinking about that too, where I work with people, and even in high school, there were some people who were like, "Oh, we're friends, right?" I'm like, yeah. But in my head, I knew we weren't friends because I knew those guys would go do stuff and not invite me. It's like, all right. And it's never changed in my head that, we were never friends. So it was one thing in school, we hung out. We were school acquaintances, how I look at it. I don't use the word friendship that often, especially since I've gotten older. And that's the reason. It's like, for me, a friend is someone you can rely on, hang out with, do stuff with. If I'm not doing stuff with you, you're not a friend of mine. And that's also where it comes down to, I purposely don't remember people. I actively go out of my way not to remember people on purpose. Because I learned a long time ago, there's no point in trying to remember. It's like, it's a waste of energy trying to remember everybody. And I don't pretend like I remember you either. I'm honest, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. I had that issue a couple weeks ago where someone, oh, we went to school together. Like, don't take it personally. I purposely don't remember people. Unless I'm hanging out with them all the time, I honestly don't go out of my way to remember people. Unless you had some kind of profound impact on me, don't expect me to remember you. Now, there are people I remember because I went to school with them since kindergarten. And some of them don't remember me, and that's perfectly fine because I didn't hang out with them. But that's when I thought I had to. That from kindergarten pretty much all through high school. It was in high school I started to realize this. But I will remember people just because I thought I was supposed to. And then as I got older, I realized I don't need to remember these people. I don't need to do anything with them. I'm not friends with them. There's no point in me remembering them. And after that, I was just like, that was like a weight lifted off of me. And I was working a job at McDonald's, and I was there for maybe a year or 2 years, and I got another job. When I was leaving, People talk, oh yeah, I'll see you around. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I would most likely never ever see any of you again. And it's like, it's not that I'm gonna go out of my way to not see you. It's just when you leave a job, how often do you actually run into the people, unless you already hang out with them, how often do you see that person again? And they all kind of went, yeah. It all kind of hit them. And they're like, oh, wow. And the truth is, I've only seen one person, no, two people I keep in touch with sort of through Facebook. And that's it from that job. So, and one guy, he was a young guy and he took a liking to me. And then there was another guy, actually, they're both technically young guys. And I still talk to them, at least on Facebook. And I think it's interesting that, out of all the people I work with, there's only two of them I talk to or chit chat with, if you will, on Facebook, or interact with on Facebook. I'm trying to think of the word because it's not like I hang out with them or anything, but they're the only two. That's it. And it's like that everywhere, really. Unless you're hanging out with that person or you interact with that person on a daily basis, it's just not going to happen. You're just acquaintances. You're not friends. And that's also where that came from, me thinking that. It's like, I don't hang out with you. I don't interact with you. And when I lived in Kentucky, that's also where that came from, because I realized these people aren't my friend. Lucky if I had that mentality when I went there. But because I kept that idea in my head, I didn't get into trouble, because some of them they were doing cocaine and stuff like that. So I knew to stay away from them. But yeah, it's like, wow, I'm glad I got away from them. But yeah, I just think about that. People are so quick to call someone a friend when the reality is you're just acquaintances. My wife is kind of the opposite. She doesn't want to admit she's friends with certain people she worked with. Like, you're friends. Just let it go. You guys hang out outside of work. That makes you friends. And she's like, we're not friends. Like, yeah, you are. But yeah, my wife's a caring person. I think she tries to have a harder exterior than what she has. Now, she does have a resting bitch face that people think she's going to beat them up or something. It's like, trust her, she's not going to fight you. But yeah, and I'm always smiling. And people think I'm just the nicest guy until you piss me off. Then I'm going to strangle you. No, I probably will have to hurt you if you piss me off too bad. But yeah, it's just there's nothing wrong with being just acquaintances. You can still be acquaintances outside of work too, hanging out outside of work. But in my wife's case, I think she tries too hard just to be acquaintances, when in reality, she is friends. And there's different levels of friendship too. And you could, I guess technically you say acquaintance could be a level. That could be the beginning level of the friendship, is being an acquaintance first. And there's nothing wrong with, even if your friendship just stays at that level, there's nothing wrong with that either. As long as you know where you are on the friendship. So there's that. I forgot. There was something else. Attractiveness. I looked at my notes and it's like, I was going to say something I couldn't remember. I was watching, it has to do with the red pill community. Abbott and Preacher, they found the new red pill guy, I guess, who's trying to take over as the leader of the red pills. And when it comes to red pill or blue pill, if you actively go, you're a red pill or you're a blue pill, I don't want to be around you, actually. If you're one of those people who's saying, well, I'm blue pill, it's like, stay away from me. I'm red pill, definitely stay away from me. You need, on the one hand, I can see where the red pill are trying to get men to be men. And then on the other side, it feels like the people who actively say they're blue pill are trying to make men be super weak, be simps. It's like, no, you don't want that. You want a nice balance. You want someone who's not going to be walked over. You want someone who's confident. You want someone who knows their value. And it's not just men, it's men and women. You don't want to be walked on. You don't want to be a narcissist. You don't want to be any of that stuff. You want to find a nice balance where you're confident in who you are, and you're not afraid to stand up for yourself. And one of the reasons I brought this up because in that guy they were watching, he talking about if you're making under 100K, you're ugly. And I was looking at it, I was like, how much do you make? I was like, I guarantee you do not make 100K. Because majority of the guys who say that stuff do not have 100K in their name. They don't. That's something else I need. I've been getting back into saying again. Well, the thing with the red pill, I was thinking about maybe I should do advice. Give people advice on different things. I was thinking about adding that to here, having an advice moment. I can use Reddit, go to one of those Reddit things and look up advice, people who are asking for advice and stuff, and give out advice. Because when I heard that thing about the attractiveness, it was just like, you're an idiot. You have no clue what you're talking about. And to make things worse, now I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt on this clip because Adam Preach were watching, I think they were watching a montage or something like a compilation of his videos because it was kind of hopping around. I don't know if that's the editing that they did or what, but it felt like it was a compilation. Because in one of the things, he's talking to a girl, and it's so awkward. It's so painful. I fast forward through it. That's how painful it was to watch. He didn't know how to talk to her. He's supposed to be... So here's why I was going to say benefits of that. I don't know if it was supposed to be him showing how to pick up a girl or what not to do. How not to talk to a girl. Because the girl rejected him, and he moved on. And that's the thing for me is like, what was that supposed to be a demonstration of? I'm not going to go hunt his video down. I have no desire to look at his video. Just from him saying that 100,000 comment, I definitely don't want to watch him. But yeah, it was just like, what are you trying to convey here? Was this you showing what not to do? How not to be so awkward around girls? Because he's in great shape. It shows he works out. He's got the muscles. But first off, it was fake. That's why I'm saying, was that a thing to show? I saw this a couple ways with that moment, that little clip. One is that he was trying to show what not to do. And then on the other hand, let's say the girl didn't know what was going on. They mic'd her up. She was mic'd. Because as soon as it started, even before Preach said anything, I was like, why is that so clear? And he's like, she's mic'd up. And I was like, yeah, she's definitely got a mic on her. So let's say, for argument's sake, they mic'd her up. They did. There's no argument sake. I don't know what I'm saying. But let's say, for argument's sake, they didn't tell her what was going on. Or they told her something else. And maybe they said, hey, this guy's doing the video with you. I want you to talk and get to know each other. And that was it. And maybe, because here's the thing, if they had told her something to that effect, she may have rejected him simply because she's working. In her mind, she might be like, hey, I'm working. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not hooking up with you. Then on the other hand, they could have told her, we're going to mic you up and see if any guys approach you, and you decide if you want to walk away with them. It could have been something like that. So I think the second one would make more sense to say, hey, we're going to mic you up. We're going to have you walk down the street and see if any guys hit on you. And we're going to record it. But then also, he had a mic, a big fuzzy mic, so it was obvious he had a mic. So that's why I was like, this is so weird. It was so weird, so awkward. That's why I said I kind of feel like there should have been more to it. So that's why I'm giving the benefit of the doubt on that one. Like maybe he was trying to demonstrate on how not to talk to a girl. Because I was like, the first step is just getting the girl's attention. Because even me, as awkward and as out of shape as I am, I was getting the girls. I could meet them in person. I did better on the internet, actually. I was using the internet before there were like legit all these dating sites and apps. And I was able to meet girls. I think the reason I did better online because I could get my thoughts together and type it out. But that helped me in real life because once I had those thoughts, I was like, oh, I just got to chat with them like this. And that's what I started doing so I could meet girls in real life. But I won't lie, I did better online than in person. Like I said, it was easier to get my thoughts together. And I did have a picture up. I didn't hide myself. I put up a genuine picture of myself. I didn't catfish or anything. And so, yeah, I did a lot better. And one of the reasons I think I did good in person is because I've had enough girls tell me in person how cute I was. And it's like, and that helped build up my confidence. Now, you get enough girls telling you how cute you are, and that'll build up your confidence. And there was a time where guys were like, I'm not cute. But I was smart enough in high school to recognize that. Now, in high school, I didn't date. It wasn't until I got out of high school. But even in high school, I realized cute's not a bad thing when it comes to dating girls. I think for some reason, guys got it in their head that cute is a bad thing. But it's not. Especially if you know how to work it. And lucky enough, I did. So like I said, even being fat and out of shape, I can still get the girl. So that clip, it was just like, what was that? But I don't know. I don't know with that clip. But yeah, the red pill community is something else. And even when I was at my lowest when it came to dating or getting with a girl, I never once went down those paths. I guess they always talk about weak-willed men going down the path. I don't think it's so much weak-willed men. I think it's just you're looking for an excuse as to why you can't get the girl. And in some cases, it's that you're not able to admit that you're the reason you can't get the girl. If you can admit you're the reason you can't get the girl, then that would change things. And also, you got to look at also the girl you're chasing. What kind of woman are you chasing after? Are you chasing after unrealistic expectation? I can't even say the word. I wouldn't even say chasing out of your league. It's chasing the wrong type. You're attracting women in all types. The problem is, let's say you're a nerd. You're a sci-fi nerd. You're into cosplay. You're into Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica. You're into all that stuff, all that sci-fi stuff. And you're chasing a girl who's into going to the beach. That's your first mistake. Why are you chasing after a girl who's into going to the beach? There are plenty, even back then, back in the day, there were plenty of attractive girls who were into sci-fi. But for whatever reason, TV and movies made it seem like if the attractive girls in the sci-fi, they always had them dress up like a nerd or something. And then they do the transformation. I'm actually beautiful under these glasses, and and it's like, I can see past that. So the reality is, I think those guys got it stuck in their head that if a girl's into the same thing they're into, oh, I can't be with that girl. It's like, that made no sense. So that's like Family Matters. They had Steve always chasing after Laura, and it's like, why the hell are you chasing Laura? Myra was way better looking, and she was also a nerd. So it's like, dude, you got a beautiful nerd who's willing to do whatever you want, and you're going after the girl who doesn't want you. I always hated that scenario. And then there was the show, The Parkers with Monique. I hated that show because she stalked the guy and then got the guy in the end, just like Family Matters. So to me, both of those said, it wasn't that, oh, if you keep trying, you'll succeed in the end. No, that's not the message it sent. The message it sent was, if you keep stalking them, they'll eventually give in to you. And it's like, I hate when they do that in shows. I don't think they do that too much anymore, but there was a lot of shows back then that kind of did that scenario where if you stalk someone, they eventually gave in to you. Like, no, that's creepy. I found it creepy back then, and I still find it creepy. But yeah, when it comes to dating, men and women, both men and women, they will both not realize that they are the problem when it comes to dating. Because there's some factors. One, who are you, like I said, who are you chasing after? Are you, like, we're talking about, dude, you're dating out of your league, you need to date down, all that stuff. It's not so much dating down, it's not even dating out of your league, it's you're chasing the wrong type. That's like when you hear about the girl who's always in abusive relationships, it's like, that's you. And people want to say, oh, you're a victim blame. No, I'm blaming her. she's always in an abusive relationship. That means she chooses men who are going to abuse them. And don't give me that crap about, well, she didn't know in the beginning. They all start off the same. She should by now have developed a sixth sense to be like, oh, not you. And the guys are all the same. And so that's why it's like, don't give me that crap about they didn't know. Because they have the same personality. They're the same type. They do all the same things. And it's like, it just came out of nowhere. Did it really? Did it? They all have 17 baby mamas and it just came out of nowhere? No, I don't feel so. That's also long. I guess there's this woman who was a real estate or something. She's high-end woman, got money and all this stuff, and she decides to hook up with a drug dealer, and now she's scared for her life. According to everything I've seen, I haven't even bothered to go look at any of her videos. So I'm just like, I'm staying away from that. But everything I hear is that she knew he was a drug dealer, she was scared of the drug dealer, and then dated the drug dealer. And got pregnant by him, knowing he had all these baby mamas. I got zero sympathy for you. I got zero. You chose to date a drug dealer. No sympathy. Sorry. Nope. Not even sorry, actually. No, take that back. I'm not sorry. You choose to date someone who you know is a piece of crap. That's all on you. So, yeah. So, men and women, when you choose to date someone you know is going to do you wrong, you're on your own. I got no sympathy. That's also like, forgot where it was. There's a big edit right here because I got interrupted. Doing Red Pill, talking about people. Oh, people not want to take responsibility for who they're dating. Yeah, you, at some point you do have to look in the mirror and go, it's me. Because, I'm doing the thing again. At some point, you have to take a moment, look in the mirror, and realize it is you. You are the reason you're in these relationships, in these bad relationships. It doesn't necessarily, it's an abusive relationship. It's just a relationship you should not be in. And I never understood people who chase after people who are not their type. Meaning, like, what are you looking for? If you want the sports model as your girlfriend, you're going to pretty much have to change everything about you to get that in most cases. Because they're looking for athletic guys, they're looking for rich guys, and they're looking to be taken care of. If you're not athletic and got money and can take care of them, you're not going to be in there. And people who pretend to have the money end up going broke, beyond broke. So yeah, at some point you just gotta face the music and realize it's you. And unfortunately, you see it more with men than you do women when it comes to getting rejected. Let's be honest, most women aren't going to ask anyone out. It's usually the guy. That's the main reason you see it more with men than women, because men do most of the asking. But again, you'll see the men snap and go after people, and they don't even go after the right people. But even then, there is no right person to go after, to be honest with you. The right person would be the person in the mirror if you're going to snap and take someone's life. But, yeah, because people will go, I'm a nice guy, I got money, why aren't they going out with it? It's probably because you're giving off a creepy vibe. And vibe is a real thing. You can give off a creep, like you just give off creep. It's not just guys. There's plenty of women I've met who give off creep. And the truth be told, I think I met more women who give off creep than I met men. And it's just like, stay the hell away from me. And in some cases, a creepy woman can be interesting. What I mean by that is sometimes they're creepy because you discover they're trying to hide something that they don't want anyone, like they're actually a cat lady, that they have 2 or 3 cats, or that they're actually a sci-fi nerd. I met some women who were into cosplay, but they didn't want other people to know that they were into cosplay. Like, oh, is that it? That's why you're so creepy? Jeez, I don't care about that. And in some cases, it's there's some other issues going on, and they just don't hide it. But yeah, for whatever reason, it seems like when guys snap, they really go off to the deep end. And I don't understand that. Well, I take that back. When women snap, they really go nuts too. So it's really had nothing to do with the sexes. Because I just thought about a lot of those cases where women snap. You know, there was the one where a woman snapped because she thought her boyfriend was cheating on her. Turned out he wasn't. And there was one where a woman snapped because the guy rejected her. There's even videos of where guys say, "Oh no, I'm not interested. I got a girlfriend," and the girl's like, "I'm beautiful. What's wrong with you?" It's like, whoa, back it up. And it's like these girls can't handle rejection. But yeah, so I take that back. It has nothing to do with the sexes. It has to do with the individuals. And men and women who can't handle rejection, they're very dangerous. I guarantee you they can't handle rejection in other areas too. And some of those, and they always say those are the kids that probably grew up never being told no. And it's quite possible. You know, they never got told no by their parents. And now they're being told no and they don't know how to handle it. That's why I miss the days of where kids, when they lost, they lost. They weren't rewarded. They didn't get a medal. They didn't get a participation trophy or a ribbon. They just lost and they got nothing. The coach just said, better luck next time. They might get some ice cream. But otherwise, they didn't get rewarded for losing. You know, they mainly got, if they got ice cream to cheer up or something like that, you know. But they didn't get an actual big reward. They didn't get a big old party thrown for them or anything like that. And I think we need to get back to that where kids are taught to lose. Because that is so valuable. If you teach kids how to handle a loss when it comes to something like that, like how to handle being rejected, I think kids will do better. I grew up in an environment where I learned to handle rejection. I handle losing. So yeah, we need to get back to that. Now they do in, I want to say junior high and high school, if they play sports, they get into that. But we need to get it back into all aspects of life to where kids get rejected. Kids learn they're not always going to get picked. And, you know, things aren't always going to go your way. So my advice on that is get some therapy. I would like to add, my son just interrupted me and he was asking for some advice on editing software. And I told him this multiple times. He wants to do YouTube and stuff and edit his videos. And he has to wait till he's 13. I made him wait. And I told him multiple times, it's like, if you're going to do this for real, you need to find the software that's for you and that you can use. I use a free software. I use Blender. It's free. It's cheap because it's free. And what I'm looking to switch actually, but I haven't. But my thing is, I kind of had to break it down for him in the sense of you have to do the research. You have to find the editing software that works for you. And he finally explained to me what he was looking for. He thought the editing software came with music. And I said, well, some come with music, but it's royalty-free music. And I had to explain to him what that meant. Like, you know, you have to pay for that music. Royalty-free means you don't have to pay for it. And he was looking for like game sounds and stuff. I was like, there's royalty-free that sound like some of the games, but it's not that, and it's royalty-free. So make sure to always use royalty-free because we can't pay if they decide to sue. But I had to explain to him, the editing software, majority of them don't come with sounds. You got to go and find the sounds. And so those people who edit the videos, they go and get those sounds and they use them. And most of them get the sounds from the game they're playing. So that's another thing. Oh, I should have told him that. It's like, if you're playing the game, there's your sound right there. But I'll tell him that after this. But yeah, the reason I bring it up is it's kind of the same thing in the sense that he didn't want to take the time and do the research. And it's kind of almost like dating where you didn't take the time to get to know the person you're trying to date. Like, there used to be this big push, girls wanted to be friends first, which, in all honesty, that's not what I'm referring to. What I mean by getting to know the person, like going on that first date and then getting to know each other. That whole being friends first thing, if someone ever tells you, oh, can we be friends first? They don't want to date you. They do not want to date you. And I don't know if girls still do that or not, but because I haven't had to date in a long time. But yeah, they do not want to date you. But yeah, that's my advice for everyone. Oh, another thing I want to share is I lost my wedding ring in my office somewhere. I've looked all over. I don't know where it's at. I know I had it in the office. Like I took it off to put lotion on, and I did knock some stuff on my desk, and I didn't notice it was gone. It wasn't until a couple days later, like, oh, I didn't put my ring back on. It's like something was missing. I couldn't think what was missing. I'll usually remember if I'm going to go somewhere, and in the past couple of days, I really didn't go anywhere because I work from home. And then all of a sudden, it was like, where's my ring? Between the time I knocked the stuff off the desk and me realizing the ring was gone, I cleaned up and threw out a bunch of stuff. So now I'm looking for a new ring. But the upside is my wife, a long time ago, talked about getting new rings. And I guess it's platinum or titanium. I can't remember which it is for 20th anniversary. So I was like, well, we'll get new rings for that for our 20th anniversary. But yeah, it's just like, crap. Where did that go? And my office is messy. So maybe if I finally sit down and clean it all up, maybe I'll find it. I don't know. It could be gone. It could be gone. It could be in the trash and gone forever. I don't know. But it's just so weird. But, oh well. Maybe one day I'll find it, clean it up or something. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my React channel. And I'm going to start a new video series probably this weekend where I'm doing Reddit. And my next one, I'm going to look for some Reddit stories to do advice stuff too. And maybe that'll be my thing. I'll add that in here. So, all right. Everyone take care. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Take care.